Yeah. Harley Pickleball, Dinks and Drinks. All right. Welcome everybody to another episode of Dinks and Drinks. Hey, yo.
Cheers.
I'm your host, Brian, and this is your other host as well for Dinks and Drinks. Faith Whitehair.
Hi, everybody.
All right. I just put the echo because last time you were like, I need a bigger entrance.
I'm the important person here. Not really.
Yeah. All right, so first and foremost, May the 4th
Be with you.
be with you. Congratulations again to another degree for Faith. Graduated today again.
Yeah.
President's list, Dean's list. You know what I mean? She is beauty and brains. Mm-hmm.
Until they talk to me, then it's a whole nother problem.
It was great until she started talking. It's terrible. Jesus. Anyways, pickleball. We're going to get to Hayden calling Anna Leigh a bitch. Agassi and Anna Leigh in the U.S. Open. How they performed and the outcome and everything like that. And then the Johns brothers.
Oof.
And the MLP, the whole thing that they're, the controversies with that. So, number one, let's get to Hayden calling Anna Leigh a bitch. You saw that video?
Yeah.
Where he called her a bitch? So, some people are saying that he didn't call her bitch, that he was calling, I think, Howes, because my boy, Will Howes, he's on there. And
so why
did he playing with Anna Leigh, and I think they were saying that he was calling Will a bitch, but then why didn't Hayden say?
That's what I was just gonna say. Why didn't he clarify who he was talking?
Like trumps that.
Or why didn't Howell be like, no, he was talking to me. It was nothing toward you. Like, why didn't he step up to her? And he didn't do anything. So
that kind of trumps that, right? You know what I mean? So, what do you think? Because there's different people saying how they would have handled it. Why she
I'm sorry, but if you call me a bitch and we're walking off thing, I'm hitting you in the face with my paddle. I'm just kidding.
Damn.
No, I think it's like completely unnecessary.
I don't care.
I really don't care. Yeah, mama. How about that?
Right? They don't call me Scrappy for nothing.
Shut up.
It's Scrappy Doo.
I can't make his voice, but no, anybody like that's just ridiculous. I find that very stupid, but he is a child. He's 16?
I think he's like 19.
Well, then he's a big ass kid. I'll tell you that much.
I think a lot of kids, right?
Yeah.
You want to call them kid because technically they're an adult. Anna Leigh technically is an adult. She's 18. So is Hayden.
Okay, so this is the thing. Is that back in the day, 18 and 19, when I was young, just kidding.
Damn. That was
not
that long ago.
No.
She's young.
No, like back in the day, it was 18 and 19. You were an adult and people lived their lives. Nowadays, I don't think that should be considered an adult only because of where society's going.
Exactly. That's what I was
So
gonna
it's
say,
like, and then mental and just how they think. Yeah. They're not there yet.
They're not. And then they get, they're brats. A lot of people are brats, but you can't really say that for the whole generation.
Yeah.
But I think it might be fair to say it's most of the generation.
Yes.
Just like you would say, like the baby boomers and stuff like that back in the day, in the 50s and 60s or whatever, you could really say that people that were like 14, 15 years old. They were like hustling and trying to get their shit together or whatever. And I think the older generation is always, you know, angry at the younger generation. It's like, when I was your age, I had my shit together. It's like, whatever.
But I think it's also like they're not forced into it as well. Like back in the day, they had to grow up quick. They had to grow up fast. And nowadays people are like, I don't want that for my kids. I don't want to do that to my kids. I don't want to rush them out of... So it kind of keeps them in that mentality of like, they don't have to grow up mentally fast. So therefore, when you handle things, like everything about that was just ridiculous. Even if he wasn't calling her a bitch, you could have clarified it. But his thought process as a 19-year-old is, I didn't call you a bitch. Because that's the part of the video that I saw. He's like, I didn't call you. So why say it?
Anybody, pretty much anybody, would be like, whoa, I didn't call you a bitch or something like that. You know what I mean? Or, I'm sorry that you heard it like that or whatever, something, you know what I'm saying?
It was supposed to be directed to
no, not you, this fool, you know? Because we fuck around with each other and we call each other bitch. I don't know why you would do that as, you know, men, but hey, to each your own. But something. In the video. He didn't do that in the video, in many of the videos, because I saw like 4 different videos, you know, different point of views.
But it's uncalled for. Like I wouldn't stand for it either, honestly. Yeah. Like, I don't feel the need.
She should have hit him?
I would
back slapped him.
Bah.
Oh, no. You want to... Bitch!
Who's the bitch now? Is that movie from?
Oh, God. Yeah.
No, like, I think she was caught off surprise, and it's not to say anything like how she handled it, because it could have been a little better. Like, are you talking to me? But she, like, legit pushed past everybody and was trying to get up in his face.
So okay, so back up a little bit. What about the dude that was holding her back? And then they made a big thing about that.
Oh, yeah, I saw
like,
that.
Oh, don't touch her, blah, blah. And he was like, I wasn't touching her. I was
just standing here.
He was just kind of saying that he was kind of like blocking her.
Yeah, but for you to, like, that was another thing with his words. He goes, I wasn't doing anything. I was just standing here. You were not standing there.
I didn't do nothing. My thing, right, for that guy, why are you blocking a female?
A boy who had the feeling to say bitch, like
that. I mean,
I don't know.
Yeah,
like me, you have the cojones to call somebody a bitch, but then you have people blocking you and you're walking cojones. Away. I'll say.
You say cojones in Navajo.
No. Racist again.
Oh, my bad. I've been drinking.
People can say he's in the right. He's totally in the wrong.
I think the dude that stepped in to block
Anna
Leigh is 100% wrong. I think Hayden is 100% wrong.
Yeah, I agree.
Hayden's wrong because you shouldn't call anybody a bitch.
Over a game.
Yeah, let alone, you know, a female. And then not even own up to it.
He walked off. Like, he ran away.
You're being a fucking hoe about it.
Not a hoe.
Yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying? And the dude blocking her, like, what the hell? And then you want to start shit with the other guy.
First of all, how old was that guy?
I'm not holding her. I'm not touching her or something like that. And I think it was the other, I don't know who it was. I think it was the coach or something from the Fives that was like, hey, don't touch her or something. I can't remember. But anyways, it was a fucking mess. It was a mess. Anna Leigh? Man, listen. I love you. She's a firecracker.
Yeah, she is.
But she's young. She showed, you know, immaturity. But I'm not saying anything bad about that, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm saying that she showed immaturity is because she fucking blew her lid.
I think she reacted.
She put her finger in his face.
Yeah, she reacted emotionally as well.
But that's, you know, that's kind of immature of her to do instead of, you know, playing cool, calm, collect. But there's different people, right? There's different people in the world.
And also, you don't really know how their chemistry is off the court. Like,
right.
You know, you can play against somebody and not be 100% cool with them. Like, you might not even like them in any way.
Yeah.
And then that can kind of just, like, set you off. Like,
yeah,
just one little thing.
Yeah, like straight up.
Yeah. So,
but I think it's like I said, there's just different people, right? So one person will say, she handled it terribly. She's immature. She's in the wrong. She should have never went up to him. By her doing that, she kind of caused a little conflict between the other guys. Like, she made things worse.
Well, the other guy didn't need to be there.
But on the other hand, it's like, okay, she was disrespected. Like, she had all the right to go up to him or whatever. And you know what? She should have smacked him in his fucking mouth. Like, there's people like that too. There's people that are gonna say she needs to not show that emotion, because you know what Ben Johns does a lot, right? He doesn't show emotion. He's not showing emotion for the opponent. Yeah, I was just gonna say. So you go back, right? If you're pissing me off, why am I gonna show you that you're pissing me off? Why am I gonna, number one, I'm not going to give you that, right? Then you're going to know that you can get under my skin. Yeah. And the other thing is, even if it's like after the game, why am I going to give you the pleasure? Because obviously you're saying that because you're spiteful. Yes. You're hurt in some kind of way, mad, whatever, because boo-hoo, I lost. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to call them a bitch and I'm going to get a reaction. Something like that. Well, so why give them the pleasure to do that? So there's different point of views for that. Yeah. Me, I think, in my opinion, it's kind of like, I wouldn't necessarily, say hit him in the mouth, but don't show him that he can disrespect you. Exactly. Then you kind of give him power over you. Yeah. Of like, I control her ass type of thing. Don't let him do that. Yeah, you know what I mean? But at the same time, you should say something about it, because you should stand up for yourself. Yeah. For sure. Defend yourself. Not, blowing up and then going up to him and putting your finger in his freaking face or whatever, but definitely say something about it. So, I mean, she does have a little bit to grow. So I'm not necessarily saying, she's terrible at how she reacted or whatever. She's super competitive. A guy called her a bitch. People can say she's in the wrong, but all that's true. Because he's done it before. He's done it before. And what's that guy's name? Who? Staxford. Staxford? Yeah. He called her a bitch too? Yeah, that's what I mean. He's not the only one. Staxford's why they feel they need to do that. And Hayden's a fucking punk for talking to not only Anna Leigh, but just, women in general. Do they talk like that to their mom? I was just gonna say, if I was their mom, I'm not messing saying? Their sister, the females in their lives. You know what I'm saying? Like, what gives you the freaking balls to do that? For people to say that it's okay to call somebody a bitch out of losing or just pettiness. Yeah. Is super disrespectful. And you obviously, if you are a female and you are saying that Patrick is okay to say that, or Hayden, whatever his name is. Hayden, Patrick Quinn. Sure, that guy. Then you obviously Buster don't new name respect Buster? Because you're like, oh, he did it and he's not in the wrong. Like, okay, then I can just go up to call you a bitch and you're not gonna do anything about it. Why not? Be like, hey, Patrick was right. I guess I'm right. Sandy was saying that she wasn't agreeing with Hayden. She was disagreeing with of how Anna Leigh reacted. And she was like, it is what it is, and he can say whatever. But I wanted her on here because for sure she had a different perspective. And I was like, what? I'm like, I'm getting you on the podcast. We're talking about this. Yeah, it's just disrespect in general. Like, could she have handled it? I'm sorry. I'm saying your mama after that. Bitch, your mama. Yeah. I mean, where is she? For sure, calling Hayden out You're a freaking punk. So was Stax Fruit. So was anybody that's going to call females any names whatsoever.
Out of pettiness.
Just because you lose, or just because they're chirping at you, or just because, you know what.
I don't know the point behind that. For both of them, at least. I don't really know. Like, that's just immaturity.
Because they're punks. They're punks. They're immature. And they're sore losers. That's all it is. That's all it is. No freaking class. No, no mature anything inside of them for them to be like, fuck, I lost. Hey, good game.
Yeah. They don't want to compliment you. They rather be negative.
I've lost to some people that, freaking more than half the time they're yelling. They're like, yeah, this and that, blah, blah. And I would love to beat them to shut their asses up. And it doesn't happen or whatever. I tap paddles. I'm like, hey, good shit. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't call them a bitch. I don't freaking just because I lost. Like, come on, man. Get a fucking life, guy. Anyways.
Moving on.
Agassi.
What did I tell you? I said I didn't think...
Agassi and Anna Leigh again. We're talking about Anna Leigh and Agassi. Did you see the damn motherfucking boy, dude? So they played our homies, Stevie, who's 13. She's going to be freaking phenomenal. And she's great now. She's going to be phenomenal. I'm saying, like, not even like in 2 years. And then Tristan, who's 16.
Mm-hmm.
They played them and they beat Agassi and Anna Leigh in the second game. So they had to go to the
So
third
I
game.
know Stevie, and she's a very good. I've played against her a few times with Ethan. When Ethan was
me and you played Ethan and Steven. Yeah.
Tristan,
Stevie
I'm still
really
kind of hazy on, because there's like so many of the guys. But Stevie, for sure, I remember her playing her a few times, and she is a really good player.
Tristan, I was very surprised. You did play, but you played Tristan when we got him into Clear 1 early. So he was doing really, really good. Like, his progress was doing very, very good. I mean, within a couple months, it was like, damn, you saw a big change in him. And then he got better the next month, and the next month, and the next month. He just kept getting better and better.
Oh, okay.
Same thing with Stevie.
So I was laughing because I saw that they were playing, I saw a clip, and it was like Stevie Petrol, I can't say her last name. But I saw that, and I was like, I know it's Stevie. I was like, Tristan?
You were like, is that?
Yeah, like I started thinking. So then I started stalking her. No. Because like on Facebook, I'm like, I think that's the Stevie I played in Clear 1. So I'm like looking up Stevie, Petrol, and it never showed up. But I was like, I'm pretty sure it's her. And then you clarified it. You told me that it was her and Tristan. And I was like, oh, okay.
It was her
that makes
Tristan.
Sense. That's really awesome that they get to play the number one player in the first round. But
I would really like to have them on the podcast so that they can talk about not, of course, how Anna Leigh played, how Agassi played, how they're there in front of them on the court, blah, 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 but more of the pressure that they felt, not only with shots and the shot selection that their opponents, two awesome freaking players, legends in their own freaking, but then the pressure that it was on them of what shots they were going to take.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That'll be interesting perspective.
What the hell were you doing at 13? At 16 years old? You know what I mean? Don't answer that.
I was in 8th grade.
I can't. What'd you say earlier? I can neither confirm or deny
what was going on at that age. No, I was in 8th grade.
Yeah, I can't say what I was doing at 13 and 16.
Yeah, we all know that.
I definitely was not doing anything close to
and that's
the
awesome.
Success of what Stevie and Tristan are doing. Like, they're freaking man.
That just goes to show you like how much pickleball can do in a way. Like, although people think about it as like it's it's getting bigger. It's getting bigger, and I think it's gonna end up still grow. It's still growing, and it's gonna continue to grow.
Yeah.
So I think they can make something.
It's a grower and a shower.
Stupid.
Dumb.
So that is really awesome. But what did I tell you? I was like, I don't think they're gonna do that good because first of all, they don't play together. It's not tennis, and their chemistry might not be.
Well, so they end up losing after the match.
Yeah.
So they played the same day.
Mm-hmm.
And they played after they played
round
Stevie,
16.
And they played and they lost. They went 3 games again. But this time they lost the third game because they won the first game, lost the second game, just like Stevie and Tristan.
Yeah.
But then they ended up losing. So my thing is that these people are young, right? And how they hit the reaction time and everything. And I've been saying it since day one, and people kind of like, and they kind of believe me. They kind of think I'm talking out of my ass or whatever. Agassi's a great player. He's not, a 7.0 player yet. You never know, right?
No, that's a huge.
But he's definitely, he's not a 4.0, right? He's in the 5s, okay? Even if he's in the 6s, he goes into the 6, whatever. You could definitely see how he was reacting.
Yeah.
How he was moving. It was different. He was getting a little, out of breath and stuff like that. I mean, he's
like 50 years old.
Listen, we had this.
You can be racist, but I can't be ageist. That's fine.
The last podcast. Take it easy. Give him a break.
Well, I am giving him a break. I'm going to show like that. He's 50 years old.
Well, let's just be friendly.
He's 50, but to be able to play against. So I read some of the comments.
It's different. That's what I was saying is that once you hit a certain age, it's very different. Your body, not only your body, but your reaction. Your reaction time is going to be different from when you're 19, 20, 25, 50, 55, whatever. Your reaction is going to be different. And I'm not just talking about the firefights. I'm talking about when it goes to your feet. Or goes to the left, to go to the right. If they're attacking your right hip or your left hip or you know what I'm saying? Like, it's different. It's very different. And he had a little bit of difficulty with that. Can he get better? Yeah, he can get better. But yeah, he's gonna definitely have a lot of difficulty. Played with the number 1 player. If he does it, and if he keeps, what I want him to do is, I want him to keep playing. I want him to stay in the pro circuit. Just keep playing pro. Because I don't want him to be like, all right, I went pro and I didn't even win with the number 1 player in the world, whatever. A lot of people would do that. I don't want him to do that. I don't want him to keep doing it. I want him to keep showing up, put his name out there. I mean, he's going to, I bet you everybody wanted to see him excel and progress in the brackets, you know what I mean? Like, I wanted to keep seeing him win. That would have been dope to see him. And I mean, I think one of his best things is like Connor Garnett is the 2-hand backhand. Were you able to see like some of the firefights that he was his 2-hand backhand?
Yeah. That's just what I was going to say is that when I did watch the videos, the ones that were going to his feet, they were getting him. Because again, he doesn't have that movement, but he could figure out a way to. Because he can always improve with all his shots. Because it's not tennis. Like you said, it's not tennis. Right. You're not used to everything being at your feet. Because they wait for the ball to bounce and then they smack it.
Yeah, because the ball bounces pretty high.
Yes.
And the pickleball is a little bit lower. You know what I'm saying?
So that's what I noticed is that he had a good thing with his reaction time up here. Because his hands were up here the whole time. But once they came down to his feet, he had to drop. And then he was doing a lot of like lifting, like picking up.
Yes. So I think he wasn't really used to people attacking his feet. And then just that little movement. So if people are attacking your feet, what you want to do is not do anything with your wrist. Hold that paddle there. I guess situational is, if they're shooting straight to like the between your feet. Sometimes you do want to carry it up, right? But most of the time, just hold that freaking paddle there. Don't even move it. Let their power be your power off your paddle. Have your paddle absorb that, absorb their power, so that it can fall back into the kitchen, and then you sort of reset, the point and everything like that. But just that little flick of the wrist, he was there. He was always like there wherever the ball was. Boom, he got it. But just because of that flick of the wrist, it went up too high and they were smacking the crap out of it. But they had some crazy ass points too. It was
so I think once he figures that out, like, okay, trajectory wise, because like how in pickleball, like the ball's up, you have it paddle down.
Yeah.
It's across the net, have it up. It's like, I think one of those little tweaks that he gets, he'll end up figuring out right away. I knew they were going to kind of struggle, only because he's coming straight from tennis. And not everything in tennis is the same as pickleball.
No, it's not.
Yeah. And then them playing together, they only had 3 weeks to play together. That's not a lot.
I don't know. I mean, I have no idea.
Like when they get together. Yeah. But I'm pretty sure
playing together for chemistry and stuff like that. Because I think, I'm not sure, but I think he lives in Vegas, I think.
Stalker.
I'm not. But Anna Leigh, so I don't know. I don't know how they were doing that.
But that's what I mean, is that if they had the actual time to play together.
Yeah.
But if he continues with it, I think he'll pick it up pretty fast. I mean,
that's what I'm saying, to keep doing it, for him to keep in that pro circuit.
Because he'll figure it out. I did see his two-hand backhand. I noticed that he did use a lot of two-hand backhand. He didn't have one shot of one hand.
A monster with that two-hand backhand. My gosh. I really need that. That's what I need. I mean, I am messing people up with one hand. Imagine two hands. Pow! Anyways, stop dogging my boy Agassi. Let's go to John's.
Why am I I'm not dogging.
John's brothers. The John's brothers pull out of the MLP. For what reason? The lighting.
I mean, it was a little bright in here.
I asked you I asked you and what? My dad?
Yes.
Pickleball Pete, shout out, bro, dude. And y'all said some stuff.
And I didn't say anything. I was driving.
I asked you. I asked both of you, and and then when I was like, "It's lighting," you guys were like, "What the fuck?" Lighting?
I think your dad was like, "Oh, he was playing with his brother." Yeah. And then my thing was that I was like, maybe, I don't know, because I feel like.
Do you think that they pulled out because they were losing, and they were like, "Man, fuck this place, we're out"?
Well, I can't say anything about that because I didn't look the MLP up yet, so I haven't watched it. But if it was because of lighting, I don't know.
You don't watch MLP like you do like PPA and APP and everything else?
No, not really.
Oh, wow.
Not really. I like to play MLP. But
apologize.
I just don't like.
Yeah, because you love MLP just like me. I love the hell out of MLP. I'll tell you what, shoot.
I like it a lot, but watching it, I don't know. There's just something about watching them. I guess it's because it's just weird to watch them with not their perspective or their actual play, like the partner.
Yeah, because they get
drafted into the MLP. So it's like,
I think that's one of the cool reasons.
Yeah, a lot of people do like it because of that.
Watch them like battle it out or whatever, and then a lot of times too, a lot of cool times is like they're on the PPA. You know what I mean? And they have their partners. Yeah. And they're playing. And then when they go into the MLP, their usual partner will be in another team and then they have to go against them. I think that's...
See, that was a weird thing because Ben Johns and Colin Johns were partners. And then in the MLP, they're partners.
Right.
So
Yeah,
it's a lot of partner stuff.
We're gonna put them together, but I think. Listen, I really like Ben Johns. Like I really written on. He's the best player ever. You know what I mean? Crazy disappointed in him. That was such bullshit that he fucking pulled out of the MLP.
To lighting, I don't know.
So
I mean, people do complain about lighting. Like, people have more sensitive eyes than anything. And I know that because I'm one of those people that if the sun is super bright and then trying to like take a picture, I will never take a picture.
Sun will come out.
Like
tomorrow.
Whether it's the sun's behind me and there's like a white freaking wall in front of us and we're trying to take a picture and it's reflecting, I can't open my eyes for nothing. My eyes will start watering in a second. When I go outside in the middle of the day and it's super bright, I have to look down and have my hands over my eyes because my eyes will start watering. But I never use it for a reason in pickleball.
Yeah, I mean, there are some indoor places, right? You got Clear One. Clear One's really bad, right? Orlando Racket Sports, some of their, not all of the courts, but some of the courts, sometimes it's like, damn.
It's dark or it's bright.
This is super dark and then this is super bright,
yeah.
Right? And it's not only those places. I haven't been to every place.
Exactly.
But I guarantee you that every place, for right now, their lighting, it's not going to be 100%. Right?
Yeah, people complain about Crusher.
There's going to be like, I don't know, whatever, in just any pickleball place, indoor place especially. Man, that court over there, whatever. Court 7, court 5. It really sucks, whatever. I mean, they could have really good lighting all around and then there's that like one court.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's gonna happen everywhere. It doesn't matter. It's really gonna happen. But for you to pull out, for you to ditch your fucking team,
I was
especially being the number 1 player in the world, Craig.
Stole my line.
This freaking thing says Ben Johns and Colin Johns informed Major League Pickleball officials Friday afternoon that they would be pulling out of their remaining matches at MLP Columbus because of lighting concerns. I have that button that I don't have my headphones. So Will Howells, right? He says, ridiculous. He says, ridiculous. Just let them pull out of MLP entirely and redistribute their contracts as prize money. That's not a bad idea.
No.
I mean, you know what I mean? He's on the 5s. He's with Anna Leigh on the MLP. So he wasn't. It's not like he was mad because he's on their team.
Yeah. But I mean that like you said, it's sucky for the teammates. Like
completely. Are you kidding me? Here's another one, Zane Navratil. After Ben Johns blatantly tanks his mixed match against Atlanta this morning, Ben and Colin decide to withdraw from the rest of the tournament. Zane Navratil says Ben should be suspended, not from MLP because he clearly doesn't want to play, but from the PPA tour.
Oh, wow. He's mad.
Right?
Well,
I mean, I'm not mad at that.
No. I have mixed feelings about it, I guess, in a way.
Why?
It's like, okay, you have lighting concerns. I just don't know how. I mean, we play with a lot of people in their courts, and they're always like, oh, man, the lob, I looked up, and there was a light. Okay.
All right.
So why don't you take a few more steps back and then hit the ball?
And then
I don't know. It's understandable. I guess you can say like You look up, there's a light. I don't know. I never really have a problem with lighting.
How many times have you been in indoor and the lighting fucks up your shot and you miss your shot? If this has happened to you, call the number below. Just kidding. It happens to everybody.
I can't remember like a time. Like it's probably.
And if it happened to you, did you tell your partner, "Damn, hey, I'm out"? What the
I
fuck?
can't see.
No, hell no, hell no. Why did he do that?
I don't know.
That's what I want to know. Why did he do that? Because he doesn't like the MLP? It seems like he doesn't like playing MLP. Does he have something in his contract that's like forcing him to play MLP? A lot of people have said that he doesn't take MLP seriously, and that it's kind of a joke with watching him play MLP and then watching him play PPA. It's completely freaking different. So why would he do that entirely?
Maybe he's like one of those people that, you know, if he were to play MLP, he would want to choose his partner and not get drafted. You know, you never know. There's people that don't do MLP because they don't want to be with a certain player or whatever. It's just...
¿Estás bien con tu cerveza?
In a minute.
Cerveza?
I have like that much. I don't know. Like I said, it's just...
Hold up. Are you saying that he was mad because he had to play with Colin?
It could be. Like, you never know because people don't like to lose.
Hold up. I'm saying he was mad because he had to play with Colin.
Some people just don't like to lose. I'm not going to lie.
Well, I mean... I don't think anybody likes to lose, right? But I think it's to the effect of where it's like how much
you lose.
Like, well, no, how much? I guess like care.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Like, so when I go and I play, it doesn't mean the world to me to win, and a lot of people are like that.
Yeah.
It's the world. If they don't win, they are gonna he gonna cry in the car. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe being young has a lot to do with that. Maybe because you're more competitive when you're younger.
So in a tournament, I'm like to the point where I want to win because it's a tournament. That's your mentality. That should be your mentality.
That's why you're going.
But when I go and play, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Like, I could lose the entire time I play in a night. And it'll bother me in a way where I'm like, it's not like my partner's fault. It's like, man, I should have tried this shot. Man, I should have tried that shot. Like, just working on my shots when I go and play for fun. That's what I try to do. I try to work on my movement. Like I said, I try to work on things. So if it's for fun, I have no problem losing. And people are like, man, I'm so sorry. I'm like, you're fine. It's whatever, I missed a few shots or whatever. Or if I'm really sucking, it's just one of those days where I'm playing really bad.
That's a good point because like the YOLA tournament.
Yeah.
That's going to happen this year at the Gaylord hotel, that resort over there. They've had it for the last 2 years. We played last year. It wasn't competitive at all.
We didn't play competitive at all.
And
we played
this year, I want to be competitive.
Yes.
I want to put a team together to be like crazy competitive.
Yeah. I would have fun with that.
I was like kind of like really, and not all the time I'm like competitive. I'm just like, hey, and I'm having
It's just
fun.
to try it out to see, I think for me personally, when I do play competitive, it's to see where I am at game-wise.
Right.
Like, can I handle that person? Can I deal with that shot? How would I handle, their aggressiveness? Like, just stuff like that.
Yes. But there is another thing, right? To put in perspective. You're an amateur compared to these pros who are getting paid. Right? You're all amateurs. The amateurs aren't getting paid. These pros are getting paid. So that's another thing of mine of why he would quit.
I mean,
Is the MLP not paying their players?
but why would Zane say do his contract? And I found out like some people don't like to play MLP.
Well, that's my thing.
Maybe
You're not gonna pay. You're not gonna play in it unless
you get paid.
you get paid.
This is true. I don't know. That's a lot of controversy around.
I mean,
that.
in pro.
Mhm.
I'm not saying amateurs.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with you amateurs. It's nothing to do with that. It's about the pros saying, "Hey, I'm a pro. I'm getting paid. I'm kind of a great player. It's the freaking number one
Kind
player
of.
ever.
I'm an
Right?
okay player.
He's the." After these messages,
It's like
we'll be right.
I don't
back.
know.
Who remembers
Like I
that?
said, I can't wrap my mind around it. I cannot wrap my mind around it because it's just
Can't wrap
like
your can't wrap your mind
really-
around it.
I've been drinking.
How
because
about
like you
another
said,
drink?
because
know
like
what I
you
mean?
said, he's the number one
Ayo.
player.
We took a couple things about this Elijah.
Can you not say a
Craig.
couple when it was only one?
Oh, all right. 1789.
I mean-
Anybody know about that?
Yeah, back in my day,
It's not great.
they drank that like water. Just
Anyways.
kidding.
That's what we used for toothaches.
It's just he is the number one player, and then for you to complain about lighting when you have so many people in the MLP circuit, that
Yeah, I just like everybody's in it to win it,
yeah,
but everybody's in it for their team because MLP is not for yourself. It's for your team. It's a team event.
yes,
You don't like team events? If he doesn't like MLP events, he doesn't like team events, then he shouldn't do it. I don't know if he likes it or not. I haven't seen or heard anything about it, right? And man, I will always try to back him up because I really like how he plays. I've met him a couple times and he seems pretty cool. You know what I mean? But obviously, I don't know him. Nobody really knows him like that or whatever. But damn, man, for you to ditch your freaking team, I don't know. I just don't know. Like that really fucked me up with Ben Johns.
yeah, it was like shocking. That's what I mean is that I can't wrap my mind around it.
Yeah. I couldn't wrap my mind around it either.
Stop. And this is why I don't talk to him. Yeah,
Well,
but
if-
I guess more to come next week.
yeah. It's time. Just wanted to cover those three things. Hit us up. Farley Pickleball is out. Dinks and Drinks. Another success, baby. We're out. Anything to say, babe?
Nope. Peace out. See you next week.
Peace.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
I guess he hears this, he's gonna be like,
Gonna be mad.
he did look like Joe there, though.